Hey there, fire signs. Welcome to your Mercury Retrograde reading for July 2019. I was just getting ready to start. This is my eldest boy, Sebastian. This is for the Leos out there, but really, who doesn't love Witch Cat Love? He's my sweetheart. He's my baby. And before I was wearing a white shirt and I wouldn't dare. And, so if I just do this for a few minutes like most Leos, then they'll leave me alone. I'm really interested in having a relationship with you. Bye. Such a bitch. Hi. So, welcome. I'm here to give you guys an overview. Been talking to my angels, my gods, and my masters all day. I'm only doing 4 of these. Obviously, you know that by now. And if you want a little bit more introduction to how I'm doing this and why I'm doing this, go back and look at the air signs, because I kind of went into that. And just for brevity, let's dive in. Just to let you know that the angels that I've tuned to, I do make requests, but you know, the angelic kingdoms, you don't say no, whatever they want to contribute. But since we're only pulling 1 card from each deck, so I asked for the Michaelites, the angels of fire, the angels of the south, being very, very clear that that's also the angel of will, the angels of will, desire, passion, creativity, truth is a big one. So that's us. We are the angels. So as I tune to them now, using the Doreen Virtue Healing Angel Oracle, something like that, I tune myself to the Michaelite squadron that they sent me. Can we please have 1 card for the sun's, can we have a little help slowing this down a little, because this is a lot, guys. I know you know that, and I could do this and maybe change my clothes and everything. They're like, put on Wonder Woman, it's red. They did. I know, I'm a little overdoing it on the Wonder Woman today. But if I get the rest of these done today, then this will be the outfit, the costume for the day. Mother darling. Ready? Okay. Oh, my angels, please give me 1 card in overview of how the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, can play the game of Mercury Retrograde for July 2019. How can they get that this is happening for them rather than to them, that they can play that game, that they can realign their intention, their will, their desires, their element of fire, sun, moon, rising, Mercury signs, to best navigate through this Mercury Retrograde. There you are. Ooh, abundance. Ding, 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 ding. Now there's an overlying arc, as I said in, I think, all of the other videos I tried to, that the angels are celestial. So they communicate in a much larger arc, can be very general, but then in tandem with other cards, they can really actually sum up things that otherwise would appear disparate or disparate. There's a lot, just putting my hand on that card, there's a lot going on with this abundance card. So rather than dive into that and fall down the rabbit hole, I'm going to go to the next deck for my gods. And for this, I use the Daughters of the Moon Tarot by Fiona Morgan. See, when I cough, it's often when I'm changing channels from one aspect or dimension of divinity to another. So interesting. All right. So the gods that I'm working with today, and I will take a picture of this and pop it up now. I have Hermes in my workspace and Apollo staring at me. Apollo for the Leo, Hermes obviously for the Mercury aspect, and behind me I have, where is he? There's Dad. I've got Zeus. He sits in the throne of Sagittarius for me, and though I do not have anything for the sign of Aries in terms of statuary, at least not yet, and then I could have here easily. This is the ring of the 3 gods that sit in the throne of Aries for me, which is the god Aries, A-R-E-S, Artemis, and Hephaestus. And there's a long reason why that is. So they're all here. They're all here. So for one card, this might take a minute. So let me tune to them. Really, it just feels like that's why I put Hermes and Apollo right in front of me, because it's like they are leading the way on this one. Right? He's like, don't worry, I got it. Don't worry, I got it. What, are you there? Wait, oh, over here. Wait, where's my exit? Oh, go this way. Oh. I wanted to back away. I wanted to show you can see his hiney. And of course, I had in the previous video my Hermes wearing a lovely amethyst bead. Dealio. All right. So just so you know what I'm staring at. Look at me, boys. Hi. Hi, guys. They're like my older brothers, but they're so hot. Well, you know, it was ancient Greece. Anyway, where am I? Long Island, 2019, July. My gods, please, one card. I love you guys so much. If I can make them laugh, I'm going to be okay. One card for the fire signs. Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury. For this Mercury Retrograde, July 2019, how can they play the game? Just give them a clue, a hint. A clue, a hint, a tease, maybe even a spoiler. Because my Hermes, you can certainly be god of the spoiler sometimes. Oh. Yeah, I feel the warmth. This feels really good. One card, fire signs. One more time. One card for the fire signs. Mercury Retrograde, July 2019. This is it. Oh, loyalty, a fire card. Three of flames. Oh, we're going to throw down on this one. I love this card, the threes. I'm a numerological 3. I was born September 6th, 1968, with a gap between your teeth. By the way, these are called angel's gaps. I don't know if you've heard it that way. A lot of people go, oh, Madonna, Lauren Hutton, but I think originally before they had it, it's called an angel's gap. So I'm an angel on the top and on the bottom, which isn't true. I'm just the top, just saying. So we're going to talk about this. That's a very, very key, important card here, particularly with Mercury Retrograde. You might be rethinking your loyalties, so we're going to have a look at that. Now my masters. I'm particularly working with one who is a bit of a trickster. Huge misunderstatement. But he does come from love. He sort of tricks people into growth. He certainly has been screwing with me my whole life, apparently. But I love him. And he's a bud. He's a buddy. He's a sweetheart. My masters. Of course, any of the masters that want to chime in, you're more than welcome to. You mercurial things, you. My masters, there you are. Can you please give me one card? Give us one card for the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury signs for Mercury Retrograde, July 2019. Don't look. One of 3. This one. Tenderness. Oh, tenderness. Oh, tenderness. You know, I'll be listening to that later. That's such a great song. Is that General Public? Where is it? Blessed be. An abundance of tender loyalty. Now, you know, I don't read I can read that way if you really, you're right, you got an abundance of loyal tenderness or tender loyalties. I mean, that's like right off the bat. And, you know, if you're looking for something simple, as I said in the air signs video, getting more information isn't necessarily helpful during Mercury Retrograde because it's like, it's like static in the air. So something clarifying, and they're showing me the sword of Michael, right? This flaming sword. Oh, total good omens moment. This flaming sword, whoosh, coming through and just like clearing the cobwebs. And so now tuning to this card of abundance. Yes, certainly there can be some financial stuff here going on, but you know what? If you're going to wait until Mercury goes direct to look at your finances, that's not wise. To go back over things, certainly do that, look at it, but you're going to have to deal with finances, certainly. But that's why I feel like this isn't what this is about. Like these two together, an abundance of loyalty. for you to really keep an eye on, rethink, everything, reevaluate, reestimate, remember your loyalties. And that's why now they're saying focus on this 3 of flames. See, the thing about loyalty is that we are taught so many different versions of what that means and where our ultimate loyalty should lie, and particularly things that we have to rethink, right? Where are your ultimate loyalties? Now, I'm going to share a little Iyanla Van Zant with you. God, I adore her. Sweetheart, if you are a spiritual teacher who's teaching something really heart-based and helping people, just because I'm a witch doesn't mean I can't learn from you. And oh, I forget which book I learned this from her, but this was a while ago. This might even been when I first started the company. Sort of like priorities, loyalties, what we're taught, and then what actually works. Because what actually we were taught, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with what we were taught in the order of priorities or loyalties I'm about to share. But it seems that it's not working so well anymore as we've grown and evolved spiritually, right? So what we're taught is, right, our priorities are work, family and friends, yourself, and then now I lay me down to sleep, the divine, right? Now think about that. You go to school, right? Maybe you don't work yet, but it's like, how much of a priority is that? It's like, you got to pay your bills. And I'm down with that. I'm a Virgo, 4 planets, Virgo, 2nd house, you bet your ass. Like, I work. That's why I'm doing this. You know, I really could have been at the beach, at the Arboretum, being anywhere, but I have this passion to do this. So, yeah, work, certainly. But when you see how it's rearranged, you'll get how I do this. Work, then friends and family, right? You know, the people around you, you take care of everybody else. I think some of you are familiar with the pattern, right? Third, you, like, get something to eat, sleep, rest, brush your teeth, get your own personal needs, your own personal path, and then maybe you hand it over to the divine at the end of the day. Now I lay me down to sleep. It was necessary for physical survival, but now we're really looking at the survival of the species on a whole other different level, a spiritual evolutionary thing. And then retrogrades, thank you for reminding me, retrogrades, they're showing me his arrow. That's why they Apollo and his arrow. Ready, aim. Let's see, tush. I don't think you can get busted for statue tush, can you? Well, by the way, this whole channel is adult. I think I have it set for like sort of like adults only. I don't clean it up. I speak, I spill the tea, which I don't spill coffee. I only spill tea because I love coffee. The thing with the bow and arrow, Apollo showed me this earlier. If you think you notch an arrow on a bow and then you pull it back, right? There's the retrograde, right? It's pull it back, and then when you release it, you know, an arrow, it shoots. But the thing is the tension of the pulling back. What you do during this phase of the retrograde is what's helping to then clear that forward motion. And plus with the eclipse season that we're into, things are shaking out fast. I have a feeling things are going to be moving fast, and I think that's what this card of abundance says. I'm sure I said it in another reading. It's like the abundance card should just be called the extra card, because it's not always about money, but if it is, blessed be, if you're dealing with a loyalty of money issue of where should I spend it. But looking at that, you know, work, family and friends, myself, then the divine, reverse that. The divine, my first, I'll do this in the eye, keep it in the eye. First thing I do in the morning is pray, and it used to be the same prayer every morning growing up. No one really knew I did this. I've been a mystic since I'm so young. But of course, as I grew into an adult and studied other paths, other philosophies, other even religions, I could have been a comparative religion professor. I just didn't want to go down that road. Academia, no, it was not for me. I'm Leo rising. Why would I do that? No offense to anybody, academia, but you know, that was not the path written for Mark A. Lyons, obviously. But even this morning, it's like, show me what you would have me do, where you'd have me go. The divine comes first. Let me fill myself up to the best of my ability, which does blend rather naturally into the second one. Instead of being friends and family, it's you taking care of yourself, right? Brush your teeth, do your hair, breathe, your yoga, whatever. Now, of course, those two can interweave, and that's what I've been doing more and more and more and more. because ultimately our separation from the divine is illusory. There is no separation. It's called the illusion of separation, but you still got, that's part of the game. You got to play the game. So that's sort of like, imagine you wake up from this phase of slumber, of sleep, where you're sort of being downloaded with stuff while you sleep, and then you boom, come back into this level of the game, and to say, okay, let me orient myself. God, Goddess, all that is, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Fred, Wilma, Zan, Jaina, the pantheon just keeps moving in the house, in the house. Sorry, I had a little bit of a drag moment there. Pose. Well, it is Leo rising, right? To get that, those first two, a loyalty, when you make those your loyalty, you're really setting yourself up. So to rethink that, and then of course your cup is overflowing, your light is shining. So bringing that to friends and family, and then work, whatever your work is, work, career, vocation, what have you, it's a natural flow. So fire signs, your passions are really indicated here as well with this card of abundance, to be loyal to your passions, to rethink them. Look, we all go through changes. I've had so many, you know, there's work, there's career, there's vocation. Work is what you do to pay the bills. Career is feeding an emotional, mental hunger and thirst, and vocation is a spiritual calling. I do all three in one day. So it's very easy for me to take that thing, you know, first the divine, first God, then me, then friends and family, then work, all in one thing. But, you know, it took me decades to do that. I'm 50 years old, and I'm finally really embodying this and doing that. So as a Leo rising, I can look back at that. So, you know, I have planets in all four elemental signs. Because then here, with this tenderness, they just tuned me in. Here with this tenderness, we have a tendency to have our loyalties be tender subjects, particularly in today's political climate. So perhaps there is a political part of this as well for some of you. I'm not feeling that's all of you. I think a lot of you know kind of where you're going. But we can be a little touchy with that stuff. And here's what I'm feeling. Mercury retrograde, do not be too afraid of reevaluating your positions on things, your loyalties to things, your priorities of things, because they might change. Because that card of abundance might mean that the scaffolding that you had created for where you were and where you are, a lot is changing fast, and these eclipses are in play. So the more adaptable and tender and gentle you are with yourself, and they're saying particularly others, because others are going through the exact thing you are. The difference is, you know, you're aware of it. I am not feeling any huge turbulent emotion around this, but that card of tenderness, and you know, it's such a beautiful picture, right? It's like these two people sort of touching each other's face. Oh, look at the arboretum, Chuck Spezzano's look back. Oh, they're so cute. Looks like it's a hedge, but it looks a little bit like a castle wall alcove too. Interesting soul castle reference there. Perhaps like that enclosure that they're in there. Keep some of this to yourself. Go before your gods. Go before your gods. Get clear with yourself before you go to friends and family and then work. Now maybe this is a work thing, and that's why we're only doing 3 cards. If I started piling information on top of this, it wouldn't be serving the collective of the fire signs who are going to be watching this, right? It would be bringing more and more Virgo detail. So I'm going to pass on that for right now. But to really say to you, as far as a practice goes, if you are going to share, if you are going to go do, for example, rite of confession, which can be a good friend, you know, or prayer, because maybe you work it out, you talk to your gods, you kind of talk to get yourself that child inside of you, your passions in alignment, and then maybe share it to a friend. But make sure it's under vows of confidentiality. because I feel like there should be this universal law that anything that we really sort of was figuring out during a retrograde, learning curve, no big deal, no shame, no blame, right? You did the best that you could. So if you know that my delicious, warm, fuzzy, sarcastic, scalding fire signs that you are, I love you so much. Be tender, be gentle, and remember that should your anger, your wrath, deadly sin of the heart chakra, begin to take over, should you begin to tantrum, my Aries, becoming more childish than childlike, and should you go hunting, my Sagittarians, for something other than what is truly your passion, we understand. But be tender, be gentle, be kind, to the best of your ability, because it's going to be our conduct that determines what we attract nowadays. Sorry, not sorry. But glad to say that this was really a good, clear read. I wish you all the best of luck in this Mercury retrograde. Please reach out if you need help, if you need someone to talk to. If you want to book a reading, just go to my website, DrawingTheCircle.com. Have a look. There's a lot of stuff on there. But we just got the new website a couple of months ago, so I'm still in the process of building it. I'm just taking my time, putting it together that it be the very best that it can be. As a Leo rising, that's how I look. My Mars conjunct to Leo rising. That my career is moving in a whole new direction with all of this stuff, but my ultimate loyalty is to the divine God, Goddess, all that is. Show me what you'd have me do, where you'd have me go, what you would have me say, and to whom. Because there's a lot, and there might be a lot of money coming in, if that's what this is saying for Mark A. Lyons in particular. But let's be tender, let's be gentle, let's be flexible, and let's have a blessed, blessed, blessed Mercury retrograde season. But for now, my darlings, meow, hail, farewell, and blessed be. That makes me so laugh.